I typically don't watch astrological transit predictions, but I was just watching one and it made me think about this idea around transit. I feel like this is like the third time that I have talked about this topic on my channel because I feel like it is an important topic, and I know some people might disagree. Granted, I haven't been studying astrology for as long as some astrologers have been, but I want to again touch on this topic of fear around astrological transits. Because the video that I was watching, she was talking about the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's coming up in January of 2020. It's already starting, like Saturn and Pluto are getting closer and closer together. It's not even astrologers that I've seen talk about this. It's people that I know, like, that have talked about this transit, and they are so afraid of it. And I even knew someone that was really into astrology that was telling a mutual friend of ours that she needs to get ready for her Saturn return because otherwise everything's gonna go to shit for her. And I guess I just want to bring it up because I want to share with you a realization that I've had that has kind of helped me not fear transits. So for a while I was really afraid of my Saturn return just because I had this idea of what was going to happen in my Saturn return, which it might still happen. Obviously, I can't predict my future. No one can predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen. But that's besides the point. I was just very afraid of it. I went through this period where I told myself that it was going to be like the worst time of my life. And it's funny because I had a chart reading by an astrologer that I admire and trust so much. She's the only astrologer that I would actually trust, that I've ever gotten a reading from, and the only one that I probably would get a reading from. And she told me that my Saturn return wasn't going to be that bad because I didn't have a bad relationship with Saturn. So she was like, I think it's actually going to be a very good time for you. And I was thinking, that's funny because I had the idea that it was going to be so bad because of like the cookbook astrology that I hear over and over and over again, that Saturn return is going to be hard, Saturn return is going to be bad, Saturn return, blah, blah, whatever. And I was like, what if I had just told myself that it was going to be good from the beginning? What if I didn't adopt that belief or that idea? What if I didn't categorize things as good or bad? What if I had just told myself Saturn return is going to be a great time? Really, the point that I'm trying to get at is the mind is a pretty powerful tool that we have. I think we have the ability to choose what transits will be like for us based on our perceptions and beliefs of them. I don't think that you should tell yourself that a transit is going to be bad for you or is going to, fuck up your entire life for you, because does that really help you? I guess. And just from my own personal experience, looking back on my life back then, that thought, that idea that I had wasn't helping me. And even if the astrologer had said something else, maybe I wouldn't have gotten this realization. But I still think that transits aren't something that people should be afraid of. So don't be scared of the upcoming Saturn-Pluto conjunction. I actually haven't been scared of it at all. I don't know why people have been so scared of it. I actually think it's going to be really cool because I think we're going to see like a lot of big changes that the world has been needing. So I don't know, maybe that's just the Sag in me trying to see the positive in everything. But it could actually help. I mean, what's the point of seeing something as negative before it's even actually happened, But then again, there are some astrologers who have had a lot of experience that might say that some transits are something to watch out for, like Pluto squares to your luminaries, or maybe when you have your Uranus square your natal Uranus or opposite your Uranus, your natal Uranus. I don't know. This idea of what I'm talking about might be kind of hard for some people to accept, especially those who are very new to astrology, because in the beginning you do follow a lot of the cookbook descriptions because you take in so much information, and it does help in the beginning to categorize things as good or bad or positive or negative. It's kind of like part of the building blocks to really understand like the basics of astrology. But I am speaking from my own experience going through those phases and finally coming to a point where I feel like I've kind of restructured my beliefs and have adopted them to fit my life and my chart and where I'm at now in astrology to help me understand the things that I'm learning now about astrology. Oh my gosh, my dog is all over me. And it's also not so easy to say that some things are good or bad, because you have to also look at it within the context of like your own personal chart. So I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be so scared when you hear astrologers that you follow or things that you're reading, especially if you're really new to astrology and you know you're just taking in all this information. And if people keep saying this is going to be good, this is going to be bad, this is going to be hard, this is going to be so easy, just be mindful of those basic descriptions, because they're not very personal to you. They're very general, and that's why you should go to a very trusted astrologer to kind of help you put the pieces together of how it's going to actually affect you personally. Because something that might be bad might not actually even be bad for you. Something that some people might say is a positive transit, I don't know, maybe it might play out differently for you based on your own chart. So that's just another thing to keep in mind and consider. This is just where I'm at right now on my journey with astrology and what has kind of helped me not be so overwhelmed by astrology. Just remember, it's just there to help you, not to control you or dictate what your life is going to be like. Hope you're having a great week and had a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, hope you're doing okay, and I will talk to you later.